Hello guys, my name is Naveed and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to discuss what is FastAPI, what are the key features in FastAPI, how you can build a simple endpoint using FastAPI just within a second. So let's start with what is FastAPI. So FastAPI is a modern, fast, high-performance web framework for building your APIs and with Python 3.6 plus based on standard Python type hints. It is designed to make it easy to build web APIs with minimal code while ensuring high performance, automatic validation, and automatic generation of interactive documentation. Now discuss some key features and characteristics of FastAPI. First one is fast and asynchronous. FastAPI is built on the top of asynchronous programming features in Python and making it incredibly fast and suitable for handling a large number of concurrent requests efficiently. Next one is automatic validation. FastAPI uses Python type hints to automatically validate request and response data by reducing the chances of runtime error. Third one is interactive documentation. FastAPI automatically generate interactive API documentation using tools like Swagger UI and Redoc based on the code and type hints and make it easy for developers to understand and test the API. Fourth one is built-in dependency injection. It provides a built-in dependency injection system, so allowing you to manage complex dependencies in your application very easily. Fifth one is easy data serialization. FastAPI can automatically serialize and deserialize data to and from JSON and making it simple to work with JSON data in your APIs. Sixth one is authentication and authorization. It offers built-in support for implementing authentication and authorization mechanism in your API. Next is WebSocket support. FastAPI also support WebSocket communication and it allows you to build real-time application. Next is it is Pythonic in nature. So one of its design principle it is to be Pythonic, which means it leverages Python's features and follow Pythonic conventions for coding. Last one is extensible. FastAPI is extensible and it allows you to use external libraries and integrate with various databases, ORMs, and authentication providers. So FastAPI has gained a popularity in the Python web development community due to its development-friendly features, performance, and ability to build robust APIs quickly. So it is commonly used in microservices, web applications, and any project requiring a web API. Okay, now we will discuss how you can build a fast API in your Python environment. So let's start with that. Okay, now we are going to install Fast API. So as with any other Python project, it would be best to start by creating a virtual environment. So if you are not familiar with how to do that, what is in virtual environment, what are the benefits of virtual environment, I have the tutorial on that. The link is available in the description. You can go and watch that, like how to create the virtual environment and what are the benefits and why we should build the virtual environment. So let's build virtual environment. So virtual env, and the name of my environment is fast API env. Okay, now I will activate my virtual environment. One way to activate virtual environment is I can just go to the my virtual environment folder and script and then activate like fast API env, then inside the script folder and then activate. By running this command, I can activate. But in VS Code, if you press Control Shift P, then select interpreter, press here, click on select interpreter. And here you can see fast API env and you can select this one. Okay, so now if you go to the terminal and click on new terminal And here you can see your environment is activated. And if you click on the run application on any Python .py file, you can run that within this environment. So that was the VS Code shortcut. So first step is we have to install the FastAPI and UVCon using pip. So let's pip install FastAPI and UVCon standard. Press enter. So with that, you have FastAPI and UVCon installed and are ready to learn how to use them. So FastAPI is the framework you will use to build your API, and UVCon is the server that will use the API to build, you can say, where it will serve your request. So let's create a main.py file and start creating first API using FastAPI by step by step. So first of all, we will import our FastAPI. So from FastAPI, import FastAPI. So FastAPI is a Python class. This FastAPI is the Python class that provide all the functionality for your API. Next one is I need to create an instance of my FastAPI. So for that, I will write app is equal to FastAPI. So here the app variable will be the instance of class FastAPI. So this will be the main point of interaction to create your API. So next step is I need to define a path or endpoint where I will serve my application. So to explain that, before I continue, let's spend some moment to understand what is path. So path, simply you can say refer to simply you can say some slash endpoints, and you can say the URL starting from the first forward slash. Let's say if you're the website URL is https and let's say naveed.com, and at the end I type let's say items and user. So in this URL, my path would be item/user. So path refer to the last part of URL starting from the first forward slash character. So after the your base IP. So this is my website and this is my path. A path is also commonly called an endpoint, or you can say it is a route, but the term path we will use in this tutorial. So when you are building an API, the path is the main way, so you can separate your different resources. So another important operation that we can perform this path is you can say there are other many HTTP request method like post, get, put, then post, get, put. There is another one is delete, then option, head, patch, trace. So there are, you can say, many HTTP request method that it support. So now we have understand what is path and method at part this path variable support. So let's define a path operation decorator. So at the rate app dot get, and here I will define my path, and it will tell this path, it will tell the FastAPI that the function right below that we are going to write here is the function that we need, is the in charge of handling requests that go the path to this path and using the get operation. So this is a decorator related to the path operation, or path operation is, you can say this is the path operation decorator. So we have different decorator like app.post, app.put, delete operation, option, patch, trace. So all the operations that we discuss. So next we are going to define the path operation function, or function that goes below the path operation decorator. So let's define async definition, and the name of my function would be the root, and return, let's say I want to return a message, and message is Okay, subscribe to this channel. Okay. So this function will be called by FastAPI. So whenever it receive request to the specific URL, and using a get operation, in this case, it is, you can say, the asynchronous function. So we can also define it as a normal function. This is not thing where you have to always have to define this is an asynchronous. But if you don't know what is the difference between asynchronous and you can say a normal await functions, so I can make a video on that so you can easily understand. But for now, you just have to think, you have to write the function in this form. That's it. And next line I write, that is a return. So you can return here dictionary, list, or you can say singular values as string, integer, and so on. So simply you can say, you can write these things. Okay, now we have created our FastAPI. Next thing is how we can run. So you cannot run it by simply, you can say, by clicking this button. So you have to use the UVcorn server that we have installed. So let's clear our terminal. And here we need to write a command, name of our server, that is UVcorn. And then name of my application, main. And what is the object of FastAPI? That name is app. And next is I will use the reload flag. Okay, so this highlighted URL in the output show that this is the URL where your app is being served in your local machine. Since we have used this reload flag, so it is help in during development. Let's say like when you update any thing in your application code, so it will serve, the server will automatically reload and it will starting serving your application again. So if let's say I want to check the response of my API, so I have to go to this URL. So let's open this our. Okay, now I go to my browser and type that URL, port is 8000, and here you see we get the response, that JSON message, that the same dictionary that you return from your function in your application. FastAPI take care of serializing our Python dictionary into JSON object and setting the appropriate content type. Next thing is we say FastAPI also provide interactive documentation. Then how you can get that? So you will see the automatic interactive API documentation by providing by Swagger UI. Just you have to write at the end of your URL docs, DOCS, and press enter. And here you can see. Let's say I want to try this my route, want to send request here. Just click on this try it out button, then click on execute. And here you see what I get in response, subscribe to this channel. Second thing is, you can say the browser-based user interface documenting your API is provided and integrated by default. So you don't have to do anything else to take advantage, you have to take the advantage of FastAPI. But there's one more thing, an alternative interactive API documentation is also available. So if you just type redoc at the end of your URL, REDOC, when press enter, and you will see this alternative automatic documentation provided by redoc. So actually FastAPI is the build on the standard like provided by OpenAPI. So there are many alternative ways to show the API documentation. So FastAPI provide these two alternatives by default. So these are the, you can say, the basic thing, like how you can build a simple FastAPI and how you can serve that using your server. So thanks for watching this video. But if you want to make me more detailed video on API authentication, security authentication, then I will also make the video on that part too. So thanks for watching. If you didn't subscribe my channel, click on the subscribe button. Let's meet another video.